Hello, and welcome to Your Vote Counts, a nonpartisan public candidate interview program designed to help voters get acquainted with the candidates running for the 2025 special election races of Ward 6 on Salem City Council and Salem-Keizer School Board positions 1, 3, 5, and 7. These interviews come to you through the producers at Capital Community Media with collaboration on questions from the Association of University Women and the League of Women Voters of Marion and Polk counties. Interviewers are from the League of Women Voters. All candidates of these races were invited, and all but one chose to participate. There are 8 prepared questions which the candidates have not yet heard. Each candidate has been invited to share a 2-minute opening addressing their background and qualifications for the office and a 2-minute closing. I'm Alice LaViolette with the League of Women Voters of Marion and Polk County, and I would like to introduce Jason Kroker, who is running for Salem-Keizer School District Zone 5. Candidate Kroker, welcome, and we look forward to your opening remarks.
Thank you. All right. Well, my name is Jason Kroker, running for Zone 5. A little bit about me. I was born here in Salem and grew up here in Salem, went to Marier Elementary, Parish Middle School, and North Salem High School. After graduation, I joined the Air Force, went into active duty Air Force, did 4 years in the military, came back to Salem and went to Chemeketa. And while working on my associate's degree at Chemeketa, I was taking night classes towards the end of my degree and worked as a campus monitor at North Salem High School. After that, I continued on and went to Western Oregon University, got my bachelor's degree at Western Oregon, and done a lot of jobs throughout the years, had a lot of great experiences. Rejoined the military in 2003, joined the Oregon Air National Guard, and actually just retired out of the military. I had 22 years in the military, and just got out a few years ago. And working for ODOT now, and loving the job there. So anyways, what got me interested in this is just just seeing some of the things in the school board that I think I could improve on a little bit, and so have a daughter here in the school board and here in the school district, and I care about what happens here, and I just want to see a few things improved, and hence why I'm running.
Well, thank you. And now we're ready to present your questions. The first one: what do you think are the biggest challenges faced by teachers and staff of the Salem-Keizer District?
There are quite a few challenges. The teachers have a lot of things to worry about, and there's behavioral issues. I think teachers' hands are kind of being tied here. I know just since I was a campus monitor, 15 years ago. I know there's discipline-wise, there's a lot of things that are kind of off limits now, and so I think we really need to evaluate what teachers can and can't do, and give them a little bit more rights, along with principals and et cetera, to be able to discipline as needed. And I think we should get parents' input and see what do parents on the whole really want as far as discipline in the schools. So I'd say that's probably one of the biggest issues.
Thank you. Number 2 question is, what is your understanding of the role and the duties of a school board member?
Well, up until just a few months ago, I didn't really know a whole lot about it. I had feelings on what the school board I felt was doing right and wrong, and I was talking to a friend who said, well, if you feel this way about it, why don't you run for school board? And she's kind of filled me in quite a bit. So honestly, I don't have a lot of background, and I think that's a good thing in a lot of ways. I'm coming to this with I'm kind of a fresh perspective and a new set of eyes, on dealing with some of these issues. I'm a problem solver, and I like to fabricate and build things, and solving problems is nothing new to me. So I am not the typical school board member, but I think that's kind of a good thing in a way that, I've of course got governmental experience and budgeting experience and et cetera. But yeah, I'm not your typical school board member.
Okay, thank you. Number 3 question is, what are your suggestions for involving the community in curriculum development? Describe the roles and levels of influence for parents, teachers, and the district in the development process.
It's a long question. I'll try to remember all of it there. Correct me if I get off track here. But I think we need to have a lot of parental involvement in what our kids are learning. And not just, I don't think it should just be a dogmatic, that the teachers and administrators and everything get to choose what's in the curriculum. I think parents need to have a lot more input on what's in the curriculum. I know there's some things in the curriculum that I think parents are not too happy about, and I think that the parents need to have a voice and should have a voice. They are the taxpayers. They are the ones who get to decide what is in the curriculum and what's not. So if I was elected, I would say definitely more so that the parents would have more power to decide what's in the curriculum than currently what is, with administrators being more in control of what's in the curriculum.
Thank you. 4th question is, how will you build community trust, facilitate communication, and manage conflict between parents, teachers, and the school board, especially during sensitive discussions on school board topics?
Mm-hmm. That's actually one of the things that got me to run for this position was when I saw some issues when we went to my daughter's parent-teacher conferences and I saw some issues and I thought, I want to go to the school board meeting and address some of the things that I wasn't too thrilled with. And then I found out that, I'm not allowed to come to the school board meetings because that was in the period when my opponent had decided, and she was the director chair at that time. So, and she had decided that for 1 year, because parents were getting too rowdy or whatever, that parents weren't allowed to come in for 1 year and voice their opinions. Yes, they could give written opinion, but they weren't allowed to come in and give their opinions. And in my opinion, that's not right. Whether I agree with somebody or don't agree, any parent, any taxpayer should have the right to come in and give their opinion on how their tax dollars are being spent. So, yes, if I'm elected, yes, whether I agree with you or disagree, you should have the right to give your opinion at the school board meetings.
Okay. Question number 5. In thinking about the school district's decision regarding funding and budget matters over the past years, which ones did you support and which ones did you not support?
Okay. One of the things that I absolutely 100% support is CTEC and the CTE programs. I think those are fantastic programs. A little story, I'll try to keep it brief, but my daughter goes to school at McNary, and a friend of hers was basically on the verge of dropping out, and she just wasn't doing well in traditional school, and she learned about the CTEC program, and she went and checked out the CTEC program, and she is now going to school. She decided she wanted to do automotive. She'd never done anything like that before. She's now doing the automotive program. Her attendance is great. Her grades are great. So she is somebody who was basically on the verge of dropping out, and because of the CTEC program, is now fully on track to graduate, and is just doing fantastic in school. So that's one thing, a great success story, I would say, is the CTEC program, and I want to make sure that we keep the funding there for that. So as far as I think your question was, how is the funding not being spent correctly, or
What did you support and what do you not support from the budget?
Budget-wise, I want to take a real good look at administrative costs. And when I say administrative costs, I'm not talking principals and assistant principals. I'm talking why do we have so many folks working in the building on Front Street and the TLC building and on Lancaster? I want to take a real good look at administrative costs and see why we're spending so much on administrative costs versus teacher salary. it's, in my opinion, teachers need to be getting more of that money, and I don't see why we have so many administrators. So if I'm elected, I want to take a real look at administrative costs. I would say that would be one of the issues that one of the budget issues that I have.
Okay, thank you. Number 6 is a safe environment impacts learning and the ability to teach. How can you ensure students feel safe at school with issues of bullying, gangs, and harassment?
Absolutely, this is another one of the things that I'm really standing on is I want to take a real hard look at getting SROs back into the schools. Like I said, I worked as a campus monitor years ago, and so that was my job. Basically, was student safety is the main goal of a campus monitor. Making sure the kids are getting to class and all that kind of stuff. But we've got some real issues now in the schools because, especially with the lack of SROs. We have metal detectors in the schools, but there's ways to get around those metal detectors. We have locked doors, but anybody could go prop a door open, and somebody could get in through a door that's supposed to be closed. So one of the big things that I'm running on is I want to have a real serious talk about getting SROs. Sorry, I didn't specify SROs, police officers, basically back into the schools. I think there's a real benefit to having SROs in the schools. These are not just regular cops; they're police officers that have specialized training working with kids, and they build the relationships with kids. And so I think there's a tremendous benefit to that. So that would be definitely one of my safety is one of the big things that I'm standing on as running for school board and getting SROs back in the schools, hopefully.
Okay, thank you. Number 7 is, how can we improve learning and reading achievement, especially in underserved areas?
I think one of the biggest things that we need to take a look at, Mississippi, for example, went from one of the lowest, reading rates as far as schools go, and they have turned that around because they do not let their students go past third grade, basically, if they're not reading on grade level. Here at Salem Kaiser, our third graders are only proficient at, I've heard 28% and 30%. It's right about, let's call it 30%. We're not doing anybody any favors saying you're good to go, even though only 30% of you can read at grade level. I think we're kind of setting our kids up for failure there, allowing them to move on, and they're getting further and further behind as the grades go if they're not getting that base of knowing how to read and write well. So I think that's one of the biggest things is making sure that we're not just passing these kids along and saying, all right, you're good to go. I think we need to make sure that they can read and write very well before we move them on past third grade.
Okay. Your final question is, how do you respond to the Oregon Department of Education proposal to allow the agency to mandate state-provided coaching for districts in order to help them meet key performance goals, such as improving third grade reading levels and eighth grade math proficiency?
Can you read that again? Sorry, I didn't.
How do you respond to the Oregon Department of Education proposal to allow the agency to mandate state-provided coaching for districts in order to help them meet key performance goals, such as improving third grade reading levels and eighth grade math proficiency?
I would have to look into that as far as what the State Department of Education is proposing for that. So I can't really comment on that before I know what it is that they have said that they want to see as a requirement for third grade reading.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
All righty.
We have just enough time for you to wrap up, Candidate Kroker. Please share your 2-minute closing comments.
All righty. Once again, it's an honor being here. It's an honor to run for our kids. I think the kids are the most important thing that we have. I think any parent would agree that our kids are more precious to us than anything. So it's an honor to run and represent these kids and what their education is. I think there's so much that we can do to improve the schools. It's not like there's one or two things that just need a little bit of help. No, there's some major issues. We've lost about 4,000 kids from our peak, and it's not that as far as enrolled students in the district. We went from about 42,000, now we're down close to 37,500. So we've got a lot of parents that are deciding to pull their kids out of the district and send them to homeschool or private school or whatever. And I have no issue with homeschool or private school, but obviously we're failing as a district if that many parents are choosing to pull their kids out of the district. And so I think we need to make some real improvements here in public schools, and I think there's a lot of improvements that can be easily made, and I look forward to helping make some of those improvements.
Thank you, Candidate Kroker, for our interview today and for sharing your thoughts. And thank you to Capital Community Media for their extensive technology and producer skills used to create this program. Thank you to the League of Women Voters of Marion and Polk Counties for the design and preparation of the program, and to AAUW for help with question development. And thanks to you, the public, for watching in order to become an informed voter. For more local, state, and national voter information on candidates and ballot issues, visit the League's nonpartisan website, vote411.org. You have until April 29th to register to vote or to make changes to your registration. Ballots are mailed May 1st and must be postmarked on or before May 29th. In odd number years, our May elections are for selecting representatives for local districts such as school boards, fire and water districts, transportation, and cemetery districts. There are 915 special districts in Oregon. These districts are a part of our daily lives and are filled by unpaid volunteers. Elections matter. Special district elections matter. And remember to vote, because your vote counts.